Okay, so let's today talk a little bit about Uber Eats. You have to have a strategy for it. You can't just turn it on and hope that you're going to win, because what's going to happen is you're going to drive really long distances to the restaurant. Now remember, you're only paid from the restaurant to the customer's house, right? So what I was finding was happening is I was driving 10 or 12 or 15 minutes to McDonald's, only to find out that the passenger ordered McDonald's from the closest McDonald's to them, which was a mile down the road. And therefore I get a mile fee, and I end up making $3 or whatever it is. You're also going to end up spending a lot of time in the restaurant itself. You walk in, you wait in a line because there's people at McDonald's ordering, and then you go up and you say, I have an Uber Eats order. They collect the information from you. They either start making it, maybe they've already made it. Usually they start making it at that point, and 3 or 4 or 5 minutes later you are walking out the door with it. So you have now just drove 15 or 20 minutes. You've waited 5 minutes in the restaurant, and now you drive your mile and you hand it to the customer. Is that worth it? No, it's not. So I had to come up with some ideas and some plan, some strategy to help increase that money. So I'm going to share some stuff with you today. I hope that you take it into account. I hope that you try it, and hopefully it works for you just like it does me. When a request comes in, you'll need to determine whether or not you should accept it. There are two main things I look at: the direction of the location of the pickup and how long it will take me to get there. In this example, it's 8 minutes out, but it's already in the direction I'm headed, so I went ahead and accepted it. Also, I very rarely will accept any orders that are over 10 minutes away, unless I'm extremely slow or it comes up and tells me it's a bigger payout. If you also have Lyft running, you'll need to switch over and safely turn that app off. Safety is priority number one, so if you need to pull over to do this, absolutely pull over. If I'm not running in a time where I can get passenger requests through Lyft and Uber, then I will probably be a little more lenient on accepting a longer pickup for Uber Eats. The biggest complaint that comes from people ordering Uber Eats is the length of time it takes to get their food. Now, I'm not telling you to speed, but I do go a little bit faster than normal because I don't have any passengers in the vehicle. This next part of the video is not going to be a video of me speeding, but just speeding up the video for demonstration purposes. As a new driver, I would recommend ordering something through the Uber Eats app, just so you see from a customer's side what it looks like and how it works. By doing this, I learned what not to do from a delivery standpoint. The person that delivered my food was not very personal and basically handed me the food and just walked away. He definitely did not leave me wanting to give him a tip. Because the normal delivery charge is not very much, you will need to think outside the box for ways to get your customers to not only tip you, but be excited about tipping you. Once you arrive, simply take your phone in and pick up the food. You then rate the pickup, and once you are back in your car, select the customer's name and start the delivery. Once the delivery has been started, you will find out where your delivery is going, and your GPS will automatically start. Remember earlier when I was talking about thinking outside the box for ways to get the customer to want to tip you? Well, this is how I do it. Believe it or not, I simply start a text message to them through the app and let them know that I'm on my way. Sometimes I will text them more details about traffic or the pickup process and say something like, I'm sorry McDonald's didn't have your food ready when I arrived, but I have it now and I'll be there as soon as possible. Or something like, I have picked up your food and will get it to you as soon as possible. However, the traffic is really heavy right now. The key is you're trying to show them that you care and that you're trying as hard as you possibly can to take care of them and get them their food as fast as you possibly can. Now, don't be discouraged if they don't write back or say anything back to you. It is totally normal, and as a matter of fact, they very rarely do. Later on, when you deliver the food, I'll be showing you how to use this same technique to help you get a tip through texting them once you leave the food with them. I also highly recommend you invest in a food delivery bag to keep food hot, as well as a small cooler if you need to keep things cold. And always take the food out of the bag in front of the customer so they know you're making the effort. I'll put a link in the description of the ones that I use that I purchased on Amazon. They work really well and they weren't very expensive. If you do not have a bag or cooler yet, I would just make sure to tell them upon delivery that you made every attempt to keep their food hot or cold. Remember, you want them to know that you made every attempt to take care of them as much as possible. At the beginning, I mentioned having to build a strategy to win at Uber Eats, and I'd like to take a minute to talk to you in some detail about how to do that. Now, if you're focusing on Uber Eats and not passenger pickups, then it may take you a few weeks to understand where people like to order from the most. Then make sure you're in those areas at peak times so that you get the most amount of orders and you don't have to drive all over. Now, if you used my referral code when signing up, I will help you in more detail in building a winning strategy. However, I will tell you the biggest key to Uber Eats is not driving around a lot, but focusing on an area of town with a lot of restaurants that use Uber Eats for their deliveries. Again, I want to reiterate how important it is to present yourself professionally, as it will determine whether or not you get a tip. So make sure to be polite and smile, say thank you for ordering from Uber Eats, and if they thank you, say you're welcome. I know that all seems pretty basic, but remember, when I ordered Uber Eats myself, I was not real impressed with the driver. As a matter of fact, I did not give him a tip, mainly because he had no personality. So, the little things make such a big difference. Once you have delivered the food and walk back to your car, you write a simple text message back that looks something like this. I use the note program in my phone to pre-make up some text messages, so all I have to do is copy and paste. I usually give it just a minute to ensure that they see the note. The last thing you're going to do is rate the customer and then hit delivered. Once this is done, your screen will turn back to your regular screen and the amount will be added to your total for the day. I hope this video has helped you with delivering for Uber Eats. And again, please follow me on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this video. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below.